November 11th, 2024 is the date today. This week is extremely critical. Pay attention to around November 15th, 2024. You must prepare spiritually, mentally, and physically. And what I'm going to show you today is what most people are not paying attention to. It's not an outside in effect, it's an inside out. In the beginning, there was light. You're a human being having a physical experience, an attribute of light. Think about that for just a moment. And if you can get the person to look outside of themselves and to see separation, and the deeper you can make that separation, the more you can control them, the more that you can manipulate their mind, the more that you can move them any way you want. It's called divide and conquer. So as we look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. Now, these are just my facts, figures, numbers, logic, and my decisions I'm making for my family, and how since 2020 to 2024, we were able to see this wave of energy that's happened in history over and over and over again. So instead of just hearing it from my opinion, I'm going to show you some deep research from Ray Dalio's Changing World Order that we've been presenting since 2020. And I'm going to show you how it's playing out to the T. But on the back end, I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing. But I'm here to tell you it's this and this. Christ is king. God is my president and CEO. Now, this is very important. This week is going to be interesting. Pay attention to November 15th, 2024. But remember, put those blinders on. We win in the end 100% of the time, and it's not what I'm about to show you. There is no enemy coming after you. It's you against you. It's a battle against your own consciousness. So I'm going to show you how each side is throwing shade, but there's something much deeper going on behind the scenes. It's going to play out the way that it's supposed to play out. It's going to play out the way that it's supposed to play out. In my opinion, God wins 100% of the time. And that's not my opinion. That's how it works. So let's dive into this video. So the first thing I want to show you is Ray Dalio's Changing World Order. I've been presenting this to you since 2020. So if you look at this, when we first started presenting this back in 2020, we were less productive, we were overextended, we were losing our competitiveness in the global stage. We had massive and still have massive wealth gaps. We started to develop large debts. They were printing more money than in history from 2020 to 2022. We started to develop internal conflict, but it wasn't as deep as it is right now. And I'm going to show you the rhetoric. We started to hear the BRICS really dialing up around de-dollarization, and they're going all in on de-dollarization. Weak leadership. That's got to be your opinion. We have a new president coming in. And here's what I want you to see is the 18, which is civil war and revolution. What you're experiencing right now in this last weekend, they're protesting in New York, Seattle against the winning of Trump for this presidential election. We're not out of the woods yet, guys. This is going to be a very bumpy road. Remember, it's not outside in, it's inside out. So the best thing you can do for your family is get your prayer walk, get your prayer game on point, get your spiritual walk on point, get your mindset on point, get your discipline, your consistency, your actions, your behaviors. But let's dive in to how they're dividing and conquering us right now. Now, this is just my opinion. You got to make your own decisions. But there is a silver lining to this, if there is any. This is the greatest time in human history to free your family spiritually, mentally, and physically. And after all the dust settles, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful world. So I'm going to show you both sides. I'm going to show you both sides of the coin. Okay. I've been very open. You know, I'm an RFK fan. I like his policies. I like what he's focused on, making America healthy again. I'm aligned with his Christian values and his belief in Christ and God and his awakening through his drug addiction. If you guys know my past, I've dove into that pretty openly. So I'm a big RFK fan. So I'm excited for the presidency, but it doesn't change my activities and my behaviors. It doesn't change my discipline or consistency. And if Kamala win, it wouldn't change my life. We got wealthy under Biden. We'll get wealthy under any administration because it's here and here. So we're going to listen to both sides. I'm going to give you unbiased lens to look at both sides going back and forth. And I'm going to share with you what I believe is going to happen.
violence, which would be a horrible thing for our country. You're right. Our family has experienced the violence. Where is Nancy? Where is Nancy? Coming into our house, violating the sanctity of our home, the safety of my husband, looking for me, echoing what was said on January 6th in the Capitol. Where is Nancy? Where is Nancy? Was coming up to punish me for what I had said about Donald Trump.
And I raise it because I think there's a fear people have out there. And we saw some violent language. This wasn't an anomaly. As you and everybody knows out there who's watching, he had some violent language when he was discussing Liz Cheney this week. He suggested he would not be such a war hawk if she had guns trained on her face. His campaign doubled down on that language. He seems to be, I raise this because he seems to know what he's doing. And we've seen this before.
Okay. So let's listen to the other side, the Trump's lawyers. Okay. Now what they're doing is remember, it's a television. They're telling you a vision. They're programming information. So you hear this violence, you hear separation, you hear fear, right? And so it builds it into people and they think there's this enemy coming after them. Now this is the Trump side.
That same hatred and anger has led House managers to ignore their own words and actions and set a dangerous double standard. The House managers spoke about rhetoric, about a constant drumbeat of heated language. Well, as I'm sure everyone watching expected, we need to show you some of their own words.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
You got to be ready to throw a punch. You have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
I feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school. If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
No, I wish we were in high school. I could take him behind the gym.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
I
have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Okay. So we'll go back and forth. Okay. Now this is Kamala Harris' concession speech. I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. So she uses the word fight over and over and over again. Okay.
On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win.
Vice President Kamala Harris publicly conceded the 2024 presidential election to Donald Trump on Wednesday by encouraging her supporters to continue, quote, the fight for freedom. On Wednesday at Howard University, Harris...
You keep hearing the same words. Okay, this is Elizabeth Warren. She got voted back in, but listen to what she says.
Any silver linings. I will not ask you to look for any silver linings. I will not ask you to feel anything but grief right now. Donald Trump...
I will not ask you to feel anything but grief. Like programming you into fear. And I'm going to explain this at a deep level from my perspective. That's just my opinion. I'm going to explain to you power and force and what is actually happening with humanity. This has happened over and over and over again. The difference is how your soul is going to react this time will be the differentiator.
Election, and the consequences will be real and devastating. But I'm reminding myself and you that on the road ahead, there will still be opportunities to fight back. I can't tell you that we will win all of those fights. I can't tell you that we will win most or even any of them. But when we arrive at each of those moments, we will face a choice to give up or to press forward. The far right wants us to feel powerless. Extremists are counting on apathy, cynicism, heartbreak, or all of the above as their rocket fuel. They are counting on us to point fingers at each other and to lose trust in our ability to ever make change. I absolutely refuse to give them that satisfaction. We will continue to fight for each other.
Okay. The word fight over and over and over again. Let's go back here. Okay. Take the emotion out of it. We're heading into civil war and revolution. It is very clear that they want you to believe that one side is fighting against the other. They use the word fight over and over and over again. The highest levels of consciousness, behind me, I have the purple, violet. The highest level, remember the light, okay? Red is very dark. It's a dark, it's angry. Violet is very bright. That's why angels have wings. That's why the devil has hooves and has horns and looks like an animal. Okay, we are human beings, human, hue of light, having a physical experience. Okay, so if we are light beings having a physical experience, our soul is in this physical body with 5 senses to experience all this stuff. And we are working to try to understand why we're here. What would you work to do? Is to confuse people. The way to move society or move humanity is to divide and conquer. How many times did you hear the word fight? We're in danger. Fight. Okay. Now there's force, and there's power. Okay. Not the type of power you think of. Okay. In the middle is courage. Okay. Courage is the opposite of what they're saying. If you have the courage to find empathy, passion, reasoning, understanding, unconditional love, gratitude, and operate in full authenticity, that is Christ consciousness. Below that is called force. It's anger, greed, hate. We must fight, separation. That operates in the left hemisphere of the brain. I'm not talking politics right now. Pay attention. Left hemisphere of the brain. Facts, figures, numbers, logic. The left hemisphere of the brain sees separation of humanity. The right hemisphere of the brain is power, enlightenment, purple, violet, angels, love, unconditional love. The right sees everybody as one, and it works to get its shit together. It doesn't worry about what you're doing. It doesn't worry about what Elizabeth Warren says or Nancy Pelosi says, and this fighting and this rhetoric that's going on, and people are out there in the streets fighting an invisible enemy. What is actually happening is this a systematic change. Study the four turning. This is a systematic change in your financial system. They kicked the can down the road so far. We are broke. We have more debt than we have income in America. We can't even collect enough taxes to pay the interest on the debt. To change consumer behaviors, you need to shock the system. So at some point, your soul will wake up to where you're at within this experience. This has happened over and over and over and over again in humanity. It's just a different structure. It's just a different environment. It's the same human condition. So are you going to operate in force, which is worldly, which is outside in, or operate in power, which is inside out? And you take your power back by getting your shit together, by pulling yourself to a 30,000 foot overview and seeing what is actually happening right now. There's a reason why they're using the word fight over and over and over again. This week is going to be bumpy. The 15th, pay attention. It is going to get really, really bumpy. But what doesn't have to happen for you is you don't have to fall into this trap this time. Human being, a hue of light, having a physical experience. Jesus said to get into the kingdom of heaven is to be like these lowly children. Children operate in the right hemisphere of the brain. Children don't see separation like we do. They don't see separation like we do. And a great example of that is when we all got indoctrinated into the C word, the pandemic, and we all had masks on, and there was the mask people and the non-mask people. There was the V people and the non-V people. And then after everything settled and all the dust settled, I took my son to this like a playground thing. There was like 300 kids. It was like everybody just was let out of jail, went out to this playground thing, right? There was kids with mask on and there was kids with no mask on. My son was the one without one. Not one kid said to the other kid, "Why do you have a mask on?" He said, "Hey, my name is John. Do you want to play?" And the other kid's like, "Yes, sounds good." And they played. They didn't see separation. It's us when we get the conscious mind that we think that it's some outside in effect. They asked Jesus, "Who is the prince of the earth?" You know the answer. Comment down below. Who is the prince of the earth? So why are you playing this earthly realm, this earthly game? Know who you are. You're a child of God. You are powerful. You are strong. You are worthy. The great I am. So what you should be doing right now is saying, I am powerful, that I am. I am strong, that I am worthy, that I am. And you'll start to see that the separation is created by them. They want us to be separated. I don't care what you do with your personal life. I'm a warrior in a garden, not a gardener in a war. But if you bring the war into my garden, I'm ready to battle. But I'm not creating wars that are not mine. We are praying in my family. We have a foundation of God and Christ, and whatever you believe is your truth. I have people in my ecosystem that are Buddhist, Church of Latter-day Saints, Jehovah's Witness, and some don't believe like me, and that's okay. The question is, what fruits do you have? And those fruits are coming from the roots. Stop eating other people's fruits and stop picking rotten fruit up off the ground. Start to plant your seeds, till the ground, water the ground, be patient, be persistent. And I'm here to tell you, this is the greatest time in human history to free your family financially, spiritually, mentally, and physically. So again, that's both sides. It's nothing new under the sun, guys. This has been happening in humanity over and over and over again. They got us drunk in the Colosseum, and here comes the Trojan horse. The difference is, how will your soul respond this time? Warriors, rise. Get your shit together. Love you guys. Hey, listen, I want to put a big warning out there. I will never proactively DM you. I don't use WhatsApp, Telegram. That is not me messaging you. Don't ever, ever send anybody money pretending to be me. They're using AI technology now. You'll never send my team money directly either. Okay, we don't have an investment platform. We don't invest people's crypto. We'll never ask about your crypto, ever. Okay, we don't have a trading platform. What we do have for you is hundreds of people message me every day about my cash value. I secure my profits from crypto and cash value life insurance. We teach people how to insure their family, how to insure their wealth, and how to understand how to compound and grow and retire tax-free. Okay. What works for me may not work for you. Very, very important. So what I created is called a needs assessment. It's in the description of my video or in my social media platform. Click link. It's a free consultation. Absolutely free. You'll never send my agents money. You'll never send me money directly, ever. So no, it's a free consultation. So if anybody asks you for money, that is not our team. Okay. Number two is, if you need help understanding how do I put blinders on, JV? How do I get into that zone? Join my 120-day challenge. I've helped coming up on 9,000 people worldwide get their shit together. Put your blinders on. Subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision creation, spirituality, diving in, budgeting. It's everything you need to get your shit together. When you wake up 4 months from now, you'll be in a completely different paradigm. Remember, as Jesus said, the devil is the prince of the earth. And you are an amazing, all of you guys, everybody watching this, you're an amazing person. God loves you. There's no hoops you have to jump through. Christ loves you. Repenting is renewing of the mind. At this moment, you can renew your mind. Say, I am great, that I am. I am powerful, that I am, because you truly, truly are a child of God. I love you guys. Warriors, rise. See you on the inside.